There we go. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Working out some technical difficulties back here, but we good. We good. So this is the 29th of June, my birthday month, and the 29th day of the Sekou birthday challenge, rounding out to the end of the month. We'll talk about that more in a minute. And this is the 17th episode of this show, which is still amazing to me. Anyway, so right now, as of today, this is called The Hero Show. That might change. That might change. I just found out there's another hero show. And I don't want people to be like, well, which hero show do you mean? So I'm going to work on that. Anyway, in my case, HERO is an acronym. It means helping everyone reap optimism. Helping everyone reap optimism. Ooh, two different meanings. I said reap. I usually say reaps, but helping everyone else reap optimism for themselves and helping everyone reaps optimism for you. Look at that. That just happened. That just happened. Anyway, so that's the acronym. That's what it means, and it means some other things. Rev Mel came up with their own definition, which means high emotion radiates overflow. So I like that too. Anyway, this is, for now, The Hero Show. I'm Sekou Wrights, and let's get into it. So I'm calling this Tip Tuesday. I'm trying to have a theme for every day. So this is Tip Tuesday. And today's tip, I'm going to tell you the tip, and then I'm going to tell you the story. The tip is, if you're trying to level up, surround yourself with people that are better than you in the category that you're trying to level up in. All right, so it will come as no surprise to you that I'm about to tell yet another jogging story. Yes, another jogging story. So hopefully I haven't told this one already, but here we go. So I've been jogging with this group called Black Men Run. I discovered them very recently. Apparently they've been around for 8 years just here in Nashville, and nationally even longer than that. But I just discovered them. And we had a group run with Black Men Run, Black Girls Run, and East Nasty. That's the slang for East Nashville. East Nasty running group. So the three groups met up together maybe a week or two ago. And East Nasty is very organized. I did not realize that my group wasn't as organized until I saw the East Nasty group. So when we lined up to start jogging, they start holding up sign placards that have your pace on it. It's like, I don't even know what my pace is, but you're supposed to look at the sign and say, all right, so that's 7-minute mile to 8-minute mile. All right, so I'm going to run with them. Or I'm going to run from 8 to 9, right? 9 to 10. Okay, so that's how you organize yourself. Someone's holding up the sign, you go find your group, and that's the group that you run with because you're running with people that are about your speed. So I found the slowest group, just automatically. Just no real thought given to it. I found the slowest group because I didn't want to pressure myself. Like, let me find the slowest group. But then when I looked at the sign, I felt some kind of way because it said 10-minute mile and over. And over. Just if you slower than 10-minute mile, this is you right here. Because all the other groups, as I just said, it was like, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10. 10 and over. This is you. This is you right here. And so I kind of felt some kind of way about it, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna stick with this group. I'm just gonna ride it out with them. But as I was settling into that group, I looked up and I saw Marcus, who is a part of Black Men Run, lining up with the first group. And I don't even know what the pace was for the first group, but let's just say it's 6 to 7-minute mile. I mean, fast, right? I couldn't even read the sign, but I saw he was lining up with them. Now, this is significant because Marcus lost 100 pounds during the pandemic. Just during the pandemic, 100 pounds. Everybody's talking about the COVID-19, the 19 pounds they gained from sitting around watching Netflix. No, he went the other way. He lost 100 pounds. And all he did to lose that weight was he started jogging every day. That's it. No diets, no pills, nothing fancy. Jogging every day. He went from a 15-minute mile to a 7-minute mile in a year and lost 100 pounds in the process. So, I mean, tip of the hat to him, first of all. Also, I've been kind of paying attention to him to pay attention to his mindset. So he's lining up with the fast group. And I'm like, oh, all right, so he's going to push himself. Let me do a little something. Let me do a little something. That was my thought. Let me do a little something. So I left the group where I was the 10 and over group, right? I moved out of that group and I lined up with the second group. And I think they were 8-minute mile, the group that I lined up with. And up until they said go, I wasn't sure if I was going to go with them. I was hanging out in the group, but I was kind of over on the side, like they're all lined up on the sidewalk, and I'm kind of in the street, like I don't know, this might be too much. But they said go, and I started running with them. So I was very frustrated very early on. Let me tell you why. I was working hard to keep up with this group because they were fast. So I'm huffing and I'm puffing. And there's a whole group of people right behind me, like directly behind me, having a whole conversation. They talk about what they did last weekend. They talk about food, place they want to try. Like they are not huffing and puffing at all, just chilling. I was like, all right. I'm gonna have to let y'all go. Go ahead. Because it was throwing me off that I was working so hard and they were just having an easy, breezy conversation. So I let them go in front of me. So that was the first thing. But I'm still trying to keep up with this group, trying to keep up. And they're pulling away. But I'm trying, right? So they pull away, and I can see like 1 or 2 people in the distance. So that's how I know the route. I'm just trying to keep at least one person in my line of sight so I know what the route is. So I see one person go around the corner, or I get to a corner, I look around, like, oh, they went that way. So I'm making my way. And at some point, I took a walk break. I remember exactly what the point was. It was a dead end street, and then we went up a hill, and I was thinking, just make it to the top of the hill. We're going to take a break when we get to the top of the hill, right? Just make it to the top of the hill. I got to the top of the hill, but it was a zigzag that I couldn't see. So it zigged and went up again, and I was like, okay. All right, here's my break right here. So I ended up taking a walk break, and I ended up overall taking 3 walk breaks. The last one was the worst because it was a steady uphill climb. There was no trees on this street, so it was hot. The sun's radiating off of the cement. There's cars whizzing by. And you know what happened? As I'm walking up this incline, this woman from the East Nasty group comes flying past me uphill, pushing a baby carriage. I wanted to call an Uber. Right there. She's gonna come past me uphill, pushing a baby carriage with one hand, checking her pace with the other hand. I was like, all right. This group was too strong for me. So I'm seriously thinking about maybe I could take an Uber back to the car. But 2 women came by right after that, and one of them yelled, "So close." And I was like, oh, it's just me here, so I guess they're talking to me. So I yell back, "So close?" And they're like, "Yeah, so close." And they keep going. I'm like, all right, so maybe I'm almost at the finish line. So I start jogging behind them. And they slowly pull away from me because they're faster than I am. But I'm keeping them in sight. They're my goal now, just to keep them in sight because they said it was so close, so it must almost be over. It was not almost over. It was not close at all. Not even a little bit close. But I tell you what, though, I didn't stop running again because I kept thinking it must be right around this corner. No, not around this corner. It must be right around that corner. And so nothing changed. Like, it was still difficult for me to run. My stomach was hurting because you should not eat before you run in the evening. And I usually run in the morning, so I have to lock that in. So I'd eaten something relatively recently. So my stomach was feeling kind of heavy. It was hot. I was tired. All the things. None of those things changed. But the idea that it was almost over was enough to pull me through. Now here's the punchline. I get to the end and we're all fist bumping and chatting and talking about how it was. And everybody in my group, in the Black Men Run group, are talking about how fast the East Nasty group is. I was feeling frustrated with myself because I took at least 3 walk breaks. No, three exactly. 3 walk breaks. I was feeling frustrated with myself. So much so that I didn't check my time until late that night. And when I checked my time late that night, it was my fastest 5K to date. My fastest one. Now, mind you, I have run 5Ks where I did not stop at all. I did not take any walk breaks. But this one, I took 3 walk breaks, and it was my fastest 5K. Why? Because they were so fast that just trying to keep up with them pulled me faster. It just pulled me. So even though I took walk breaks in what must have been the final mile, my first 2 miles were so fast for me that it ended up being my fastest 5K ever. So that's a great lesson, because if I had just stayed with the group that I lined up with in the first place, none of that would have happened. I wouldn't have had my personal best, and I wouldn't have learned this lesson. Sometimes all you got to do is just surround yourself with the people who are a little bit better than you. Just by being around them, it just makes you a little bit better, and in my case, made me a little bit faster. So I will not forget that lesson. That was a good lesson to learn. That just lining up with a group faster than me pulled me into a space where I was better than I thought I was. So, good lesson. All right, so that is my Tuesday tip. If you're trying to improve yourself in some way, surround yourself with people who are better than you in that thing that you're trying to improve. So that's what we got. All right, so I'm going to get into some announcements. Ooh. You know what? I'll say that for tomorrow. So I'm going to get into some announcements. So I'll be right back with some announcements. So I should change that from guest host to actual host now, huh? I was a guest host. Now this is my thing. I'll change that. Anyway, so lots of announcements. I'm going to go fast. So like I said, I'm going to have to change the name of the Hero Show to something else. So just so there's not 2 Hero Shows. So if you've got suggestions, drop it in the comment box. On that same tip, I've got to change the URL because, as you know, if you've been watching, the URL is giveherohoodies.com, which is right there. But now we're about much more than hoodies. We've got hoodies and t-shirts and socks and masks, and it's a whole movement. So the suggestion has been Hero Ministry, but I'm not sure about that as a URL. I don't want to lose the give. So I'm thinking giveheroenergy.com. So let me know what you think about that. Drop that in chat too. In the meantime, the sock and t-shirt drive is full blast. We're fully into it. We've got less than a month until the Tees and Tea event that was created by Project Lovestrong. This is the 3rd annual Tees and Tea event where they give t-shirts to the unhoused and they give drinks to the unhoused. So that date is July 24th. I would love to show up with at least 10 t-shirts and at least 10 pairs of socks, brand new for the unhoused. So last winter, I was able to show up with 55 brand new hoodies, Hero hoodies for the unhoused. I was really excited about that. So I'd like to at least minimally show up with 10 brand new t-shirts and 10 pairs of socks. Shout out to those of you who have ordered already at this website. I appreciate it. So the way it works, in case you're unfamiliar, is it's a go-go. You get one for yourself, and I gift one to the unhoused. So that means that they get a brand new item, which is very important that it's brand new, still in the plastic. It instills a sense of pride, and also it's a wearable affirmation. So check the website. For now, it's still giveherohoodies.com. That'll take you to my Etsy store, and you can shop there. All right. So also, I've been forgetting to tell you guys about the other things I do. And again, my name is Sekou Wrights. I'm a professional creative. I do a lot of things in addition to doing the Hero Show now. And here are 2 of my podcasts, or my 2 podcasts. The first is the Sekou Wrights podcast on the left, and then the second is Get Rich 101. Both of these podcasts are available on all podcasting platforms. I just dropped a Living While Black bonus season for the Sekou Wrights podcast, and that's real people telling their true stories about race and racism. So really impactful season. Please check that out. Get Rich 101, as the name implies, is about how to get rich. I am reading a book called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. It was written in 1910, and the information is still very significant. You'll literally hear me reading the book and then giving my reactions to it. So please check out those 2 podcasts if you will, and they're available on all podcasting platforms. All right, so I think That's it. Oh, and then my birthday, my actual birthday was the 24th. We did a panel discussion right here on the New Thought Media Network. Shout out to the New Thought Media Network. Thanks so much for supporting me in all the various ways. You can make a donation to the New Thought Media Network. If you go to that website and then click donate. And if you'd like to see the panel, it is still up. It is still available. And you can just go to my Facebook page, Sekou Writes page, or my YouTube channel, and you can look for this graphic right here. And you can find the same thing on the New Thought Media Network. Just look for that graphic, and that will show you the panel and the film and all the discussion we had after it. So please check it out. All right. So I think that's it for episode 17 of the soon to be renamed Hero Show. And so keep doing, be a hero, be your own hero, and remember that now is better than perfect. Deuces.